Am I the asshole for not choosing my sister when she split with her partner? I, 18M, have an older sister, 28F. We only recently started to become close, past 4 years or so. Around 2 years ago, she met this guy, 23M. He made a great impression on me when we met the first 2 times. I thought they were a great match. They made each other happy, and I got to see my sister more than I had in a long time, which made me happy too. I'd invited them to Dungeons and Dragons at my place, because they both seemed interested. They both agreed. Due to the 10-year age gap between my sister and I was happy that we could finally find a hobby to mutually enjoy. However, 6 months ago I noticed that things were off. They would come over looking stressed and dejected, and sometimes it would seem like my sister would text boyfriend and he would deflate. I didn't want to bring it up because, again, not really my business. But it began to get to a point where everyone at the table could see the conflict, which wasn't hidden very well, but I thought I may just be overanalyzing things. So at some point, I go over to their apartment. My sister wasn't there, but me and her partner had hung out together plenty before, so I wasn't bothered. After we chilled for an hour or two, I finally asked him what was going on. I told him he didn't have to tell me anything, that it wasn't my problem, and if he was uncomfortable then I'd leave it be and forget it. But to my surprise, he was very open. He told me that my sister had cheated on him, emotionally and physically, with more than 3 other men, then tried to blame it on her mental health or suddenly being polyamorous. He expressed to me how I should ask her for her side as well. I told him I'd like proof to confirm the accusations. There was more than enough. The rest of the hangout went by without any issues. The ex-boyfriend still comes to D&D, and we have a great time. We talk often and have a normal friendship. I'd never asked for my sister's side because she was very unstable at the time, and I was scared that she would blow up on me. We had a conversation where I told her I did not want to fight or argue with her, and that I still loved her unconditionally. I told her that while, yes, my perspective had changed, that didn't lessen my love for her. She explained to me that she felt like their intimacy had gotten stale, which was none of my business to begin with, and I did not press her for information about that. And said that she was intimidated to speak with him about it because nothing changed when she did. I could understand both points because he worked long shifts nearly every day. She told me that she felt like I was enjoying her ex-boyfriend more than her. I told her that I would not lie to her and that I would continue hanging out with said ex. She then told me that she would be distancing herself from me while he was still in my life. Not the asshole. Doesn't sound like you didn't choose your sister. That implies you cut her out, but from the sound of it she's the one cutting you out. She's the one that cheated. You've seen the evidence. I'd say her ex was more entitled to support than she is, regardless. If he finds this support through the D&D group, then it's nice of you to let him carry on coming round. If he works long hours, he probably looks forward to this interaction. Your sister can get her interaction in the various men she's sleeping with. Sounds like a tame fafo to me. Not the asshole. You handled that quite maturely for an 18-yo. She will come around. Not the asshole. Sis was cheating because she was bored of the intimacy. The ex didn't cheat and you have things in common. I'm guessing she's feeling isolated and guilty seeing you both hang out. The most interesting thing about this is that being the youngest at 18, you are the one acting in the most mature manner. Well done, and no, not the asshole. Not the asshole. I want to rephrase this whole thing more succinctly. My sister is mad that I didn't stop talking to her boyfriend, who is my friend, after she cheated on him. Am I the asshole? No. No, you are not. Not the asshole. That being said, I have seen firsthand familiar relationships go up in flames by people choosing to still be friends with their family's exes. So while you are allowed to be friends with whoever you want, I would recommend thinking about potential consequences and whether or not you are willing to live with them. Again, not the asshole, but it is defiantly something to consider. Would I be the asshole for not giving my sister money when she owns me over $600? Age: 17. My sister is spamming messaging me over Discord. It's over 80 messages, because she needs money and is telling me how much she loves me and stuff, that I should give her the money. But she owns me over $600 and I don't want to do that anymore. I don't know why, but it feels like I'm being used here, but when I bring that up everyone around me keeps saying I'm just drawing random dots and I should just give her the money. But ever since I got my job last few months back, everyone keeps asking me for money and I don't know why. As I am making this, my sister is freaking the fuck out. She is spamming me and everything again, and it's making me sacred and freak out and shit, man. I personally would have stopped lending her money after she owed £100. You are probably a people pleaser and now you have a job. People look at you for free money. Stand up for yourself. View some YouTubes on setting boundaries. Honestly, it is a skill you can learn. And in your case it may earn you a fortune. Everyone around you says you should give her money? How much are they giving her? Remember two things. Your sister's money problems are not solved by giving her money. You can give her $1 million and she will just spend it and ask for more. And call you an again. Never do Jane justify your no, apologize, negotiate or explain. No is a complete answer. No, that does not work for me, repeated 100 times also works, if you like more words. Never Jane. The best piece of money advice I ever heard was from Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank. When people ask him if they can borrow money, his answer is, no, I'll give you the money, but I'll only do it once. Why is it so hard to block her and all the people who bother you asking for money? Keep these people out of your life, it's the best thing to do. They just want to use you as an ATM, that's all. If you don't do this, they'll never stop, they'll always want more, and when you have nothing to offer them, they'll all disappear from your life. So don't be afraid or feel sorry for them, stay away from these people. Merry Christmas to you. Not the asshole tell her you'll give her $100, so now she only owes you $500. Not the asshole, and it's time to make it clear to anyone who asks you for money that you are not a bank. You're the one working the job, so the money's yours and you don't owe anyone a share of it. Am I the asshole for telling my brother-in-law to worry about his own wife? I, 31 male, have been married to my wife, 28 female, for 10 years. We have 4 great kids together, and while we do have our squabbles here and there, we have a solid relationship. So a couple weeks ago my stepsister and her new husband come to our town and ask us to go out with them. My wife and I get a sitter for the kids, and we meet them at a bar. Both my wife and I drank 2 beers over the course of the 4 hours we were there. But my stepsister, and especially her husband, got wasted. At around beer 10 for my brother-in-law, somehow talk of our weddings, engagements came up. I was mostly talking to my brother-in-law, so I'm 99% sure this came from my wife and my stepsister. Which was fine, whatever. I honestly didn't think anything of it, until my brother-in-law told my stepsister to show us her ring. We've seen it before this BTW. We were both in the wedding. I'm also going to slide in here that my brother-in-law's parents are rich. I don't know about his finances, but I do know they have money. And he works for their business. Moving on. Then he asks my wife what hers looks like because he's never seen it. True, they hadn't met when I married my wife, and my wife says, I'm not wearing it. Was this a surprise to me? No, I can't tell you the last time I saw her wear her rings. She's a housewife, and I'm not knocking that at all, but she just doesn't wear them 24/7 at home, and as a result of that she doesn't stop and think, hey, I'm going to Walmart, let me go grab my rings. Anyway, my brother-in-law makes a big deal of it, basically saying she would wear them if she cared about our marriage at all, pointing out that I was wearing mine, and I was, but to be fair it came in like a 6-pack on Amazon. They're the rubber ones. If I lose one of them, and I have more. Now I don't care about people having opinions. But what I do care about is when they're trying to drive those opinions home to the point my wife feels bad about herself when she's done nothing wrong, and that's what started happening. After both our wives go to the bathroom later and he went in a little more to me with things I won't say here, it ended with me telling him that I could trust my wife with or without a ring. If he couldn't trust his even with one, maybe he should worry more about that and not whether my wife wears the rings I paid for. Me paying for them was a really big thing for him for some reason. Since then I guess he's been shitty to my stepsister about her wanting to come for Christmas with our family and blamed it on me, and when I talked to my dad he told me that they weren't coming because of what I said. Now other family members aren't coming because they aren't, and I guess it's a thing and it just feels stupid. Was I wrong? Not the asshole. Married couples decide for themselves what they're comfortable with. I know a couple married over a decade where they're more likely to not wear their rings. Not because of a lack of love, but because of work, cleaning, etc., and they may leave the house without it. I know another couple where it was decided the guy wants to wear those silicone rings because of lifestyle reasons, but they're still the more formal and expensive wedding ring. Different strokes for different folks. Just reassure your wife. With everyone else, well, they weren't there when brother-in-law acted an ass. Not the asshole. What a giant child. I'd double down. Get a giant inflatable engagement ring. Hang it around your wife's neck. Print receipt in blow-up size and have her hold it. Take a picture. Send to entire family with message, is this good enough for you? I can get stepsister one too if brother-in-law likes it. Not the asshole. He was being pushy and weird about something that is none of his business. And if your stepsister is letting her husband control her like that, that's a whole different issue. I've been married for almost 11 years and neither my husband nor I wear our rings. Neither of us likes jewelry that much, and frankly the only people who have ever commented are my in-laws' family, who already don't like the fact we don't go to church. There's no point arguing with a drunk. And if you are drunk, there's no point staying offended if a sober person puts your drunk conversation in its place. Not the asshole. Forget about it, they'll split up soon anyway. Not the asshole. Love is in your heart, not on your finger. If other family members who weren't even there for the conversation feel they don't want to show up for a family function over drama that doesn't even involve them, then they are not worthy of your time anyway. I wouldn't talk to your Bill again until he apologizes for being rude and trying to make up issues in your marriage over his dumb opinion on jewelry. Ta. Am I the asshole for not letting my husband go out with his friend Christmas Day night? My husband used to go out with his high school friends Christmas Day night, while they were in town. I will admit I've never liked this tradition. To me, Christmas Day is time to spend with family, not friends. The last few years, this has not even happened. Almost everybody has families and or has moved on. Today, yes, Christmas Eve, my husband announced to me that he was making plans to go out with Michael, a high school friend of his, tomorrow night. Michael only comes into town for Christmas. I was pretty upset. We are spending Christmas Day with my family, and they had made some very thoughtful accommodations for us to enable us to spend time with them late into the evening despite having young children. We had a terse conversation in which my husband said I had agreed to him doing this months ago. I had asked him how I could support his friendships, and he replied, "Support me seeing my friends when they are in town." He says this means Christmas Day night, and I should have known it meant Christmas Day night cause he always sees them on Christmas Day night. I said he should have given me a few weeks warning instead of springing it on me Christmas Eve. He said he does this every year, and I should have known. He also said I had not told him that our plans with my family went into the night. Which is, I guess I had not been explicit. But I had told him that they were moving the party to our house after the messy stuff, after presents, for dinner, so that we could play games with them while the kids were in bed, and I thought that was obvious enough. I suggested tomorrow night after 10 o'clock or our kids' naptime window tomorrow as other compromises, but my husband says, this isn't the time we do this. Michael will want to spend that time with his family, and he's not willing to be out late as he has an early flight. We spend time together on Christmas Day night. He's agreed not to go out with his friend, but we're kind of pissed with each other now. He said he feels like I'm breaking the promise I made to him and I'm not valuing his friendships. We're doing Christmas with his family today, and this whole thing has completely ruined the mood. We're finding little corners to fight in instead of actually enjoying the time with his family. And I don't really have anybody to talk about this with, because everybody's enjoying Christmas, and I don't want to ruin their days either. So Reddit, am I the asshole? My husband came back to me and asked if he can offer his friend Michael between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock tomorrow, during our children's nap time. I have agreed to call my family up and ask, My husband asked me talk to my fam to determine exactly what times were open so that he could make plans with Michael, but am I unreasonable in not wanting to give him the evening? 2. There's some other context I should have included. We had a Christmas planning meeting Saturday night to make sure everybody knew what was happening and nobody got an unpleasant surprise, because that has very much happened before. My husband did not mention his desire to go out with Michael Christmas Day evening. He only mentioned it today. So, my husband and I have talked again. Apparently when I said that my family wanted to do Christmas dinner at our house, so that we could play games afterwards while the kids slept, my husband assumed I meant lunch, not supper. This is not the first time we've had a miscommunication about which meal dinner is. I still don't know why he didn't mention his desire to go out with his friend. He hasn't exactly apologized, but he has acknowledged that it is my expectation that he would mention something like that during a planning meeting. Also, I've heard you all. And you're right. We will have other opportunities to spend time with my family. I'm sure you will call me controlling for asking for some changes from his plan, but I have asked him to see if Michael can meet during the day while our kids are napping, and we're not doing family things. If Michael can't do that, he will go out with Michael right after supper for an hour or two. I have asked him to choose a place close to our house instead of their usual place near my husband's childhood home, as there will be less driving time. Ultimately though, I'm still not okay with him telling me about his plans the day before it, and after we had already made and discussed our Christmas plans. If that makes me an asshole, so be it. I will be an asshole. My husband and I are not fighting anymore. Christmas is salvaged. I wouldn't say we have an agreement, but we have talked about discussing any Christmas tradition plans of his before Christmas Eve in the future. 3. I'm glad you all are enjoying hating me. I will not be replying anymore. As the issue is resolved, I will be uninstalling Reddit for the next few days. You are the asshole. Your edit actually makes it worse. He can't go for 2 damn hours? You haven't figured out that his friends are like family to him? Why does he have to be with your family late into the night? And, moreover, why TF do you even need to call your family about this? That's beyond ridiculous. I honestly don't understand what you're upset about. I read through initially thinking I'd be on your side, and then I was perplexed. He's going to be there for Christmas morning with your kids and dinner with your whole family. You knew this was happening, and it sounds like you're spending the whole day with your family. It's not like you two live in a city with no family, and he's leaving you alone. He's participating in all the major events, and once it's winding down, he wants to see someone else he cares about. As someone whose friends are family, I'd be so upset if my friend's partner prohibited them from taking a few hours to meet up while I was in town. Let him go. You should be supportive of your husband. You are the asshole. P.S. It's Christmas night, not Christmas Day night. You're the asshole. You going to call your family up to see if it's okay for your husband to go hang out with friends. Why the heck your family have a say in what your husband going to do? It's one night. You are very unreasonable. I'm confused. He wants to leave for 2 hours in the afternoon, but you need to call your family to ask if this is okay. Why does he need their permission? Is he on parole? You are the asshole. It sounds like your whole family will be spending the majority of Christmas Day together. Your husband wants to go out after the kids are asleep. Your family will be at your house. You can still play games with them and your husband can go out with his out-of-town friend for a few hours. This honestly sounds perfect to me. You even have backup, your family, to help with your kids should they wake up.